Vinny said he was going to pick us up at the train station in a limo, but he didn't. What we got was Vinny.
Pimp hat, silver cane, Fu Manchu, ruby ring on the right hand, his left arm contorted like a chicken wing.
He told me he wanted to donate to the No Bullshit News Hour a mint condition 1989 Cadillac Fleetwood Stretch Limousine 350. How could I turn it down?
Live from downtown Detroit, it's No BS News Hour with my main man, Scotty.
Na. No bullshit!
It's just it, breaking news. No more bullshit. No more bullshit.
Hi there. This week's edition of the No Bullshit News Hour is brought to you by XG Service Group. Are you tired of staggering in the darkness of the digital dome? Are your profits jaundiced? What's that the fuck say?
You wrote it. What,
Did you write it?
Yes, I did, man.
It's been a while.
I was trying to get out of here on a vacation. Is your growth anemic? There's light. XG Service Group, specialists in voice over internet, security cameras, and off-campus access control. Wi-Fi and wireless cameras for homes and businesses, design and installation, drive-through systems, railroad cameras, the works. They're the supernova of customer service. Call Matt Yaskovitz at 734-245-4100. Mention NBN and receive a 20% discount. 20%.
It's pretty generous.
Well, he wrote 15. I just want people to call. No job too big, no job too small. And also Legacy Partner Legacy Partners Insurance. When's the last time you checked your home and auto insurance rates? If you haven't checked in the past year, chances are you're paying too much. I'll guarantee you're paying too much. But if you work with Legacy, they won't let that happen. Legacy Partners keeps an eye on your rates and continuously shops all the carriers to make sure you have the best program. They call you every couple months looking for better prices. It doesn't cost you a thing. It saves you a lot. If you haven't called them this year, then call them now. Not only does Legacy do home and auto, they also have great life insurance programs, and they can even get you signed up for Medicare and Medicaid. So give them a call today for any insurance need, instance need. Look at that. Instance need. At 586-209-4106, 586-209-4106, or just go to their website and click on the link to get started with your new quote. What's the website?
Our website?
Legacy Partners.
Yeah, Legacy Partners Insurance's website.
.com?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I think it might be Legacy.
That was
I think
good,
it's Legacy
Mark.
Partners INS. Just Google it.
That was good. Hell, you put it in, it'll come up.
Partners. INS?
I think so. Let me check.
Okay, no, it's good. INS.com. Don't listen. Sorry, Legacy. I got it written down.
I use them. You think I would know?
Yeah,
but
just
I just
call them, dude. You call them and they call you. You can actually
Exactly.
get them. 586-209-4106. Okay, now. We are going to bring you some understandable and exclusive information on the monster that kidnapped and murdered 2-year-old Winter Cole Smith. You haven't heard it before. I'm reading all the reports. I don't quite understand all this guy's run-ins with the law. This is, I don't mean to overstate, but it's frightening how badly the criminal justice system has collapsed, especially the judicial. This isn't the police anymore. It's the prosecutors, and this is the judges, and what they were not doing during COVID. It's astounding to me. When we talked about essential workers, police were required to work. Sheriff's deputies, jailers were required to work. And yet the white-collar bozos in these courthouses decided they could stay at home and work virtually. It didn't work. And this isn't the first case of this, and it won't be the last. You're going to want to stay for that. But first, Hollywood's on strike. The actors walked out. Mm-hmm. The writers have already walked out. There's going to be nothing new.
Right.
So, you know what we decided to do?
What?
Did a pilot. Are you listening, Hollywood?
Are we going to Hollywood?
I made a call today. They know us.
They know
us.
you.
Oh, they know us. We're all a family here. So we decided, if you watch the show, you know who Vinny Limo is. He's the guy up in Ottawa that called up and said, "Hey, babe, I've got a mint Cadillac. I got a mint Cadillac for you. All you got to do is come up here and get it." And I was thinking for the election season that would be our news truck. And we could be rolling through Missouri reporting live from, the Pimp Mobile. So we decided to go. And with Byron Goggin and I, if anybody know Byron, he's one of the one of the visual men on Deadliest Catch, one of the visual men on Ice Road Truckers. This is a real fucking show. This is the best show. Everybody knows it. And if you're listening, we try to make it so it's groovy to you. But I encourage you to go to YouTube, the No BS News Hour, and just subscribe, right? Ding, get notifications. Ding, go to Twitter, because I like Twitter. And
I do too. See, I told you, I like Twitter.
I like Twitter because they're not shadow banning us. It'll be on Facebook, but fuck Zuckerberg. We got news on that bozo too, right? And how they're colluding with foreign national secret service to squelch free speech here in the United States. But I digress. This is the road trip that Byron and I took to go get the limo. We want to call it Rebel Without a Car, Las Aventuras de Vinny la Limousine. And with no further ado, let us roll the tape.
Canada's real cool. They speak French there. They use kilometers. And they got a cool dude named Vinny, a real OG. Wants to give me a stretch limo Cadillac.
I got a pretty sweet limo here. It drive a little back to Detroit and everything. If you want it, you can have it. It looks like a rolling cat house inside.
Now, I never met Vinny. Don't know him, but I know Cadillacs. And for free? I like free. So Byron and I make the 500 miles to Ottawa. I haven't been to Canada since COVID.
I'm in Union Station in Toronto. Here's what I know so far. Gas is outrageously expensive. Traffic is horrible. And I'm going to be driving a stretch limo 500 miles. It's been sitting in a garage for 3 years.
Vinny's been texting me for months. The thing's all ready to roll, he says. Mint condition, remember? But now that I'm on the way, Vinny starts dropping some foreboding little hints.
I just got a text from Vinny here, and he says he done type too well. I'll call and put it on my big shop charger. It's charging now just to ensure no glitches. I mean, what do you mean? Like, the battery doesn't work? So then I get this thought, wait a minute. Does this thing have tabs? Is it insured? It hasn't been on the road in years. And my passport's expired. So the Canadians, being the nice people they are, let me in the country.
So when you go back home, give them both of this. You might get sent in because you're giving them an expired passport card. Just be aware they may send you an immigration.
What do you say? We just go? Yeah, let's just go.
It's the adventure.
Yeah. Should have taken the plates off of your car and stuck them on this car.
Because that's so much more legal.
As the train rolls off from Toronto to Ottawa, I'm realizing Vinny never actually sent me a clear picture of the Cadillac. I'm starting to get a sinking feeling here.
Vinny said he's going to pick us up at the train station in a limo. But he didn't. What we got was Vinny.
Pimp hat, silver cane, Fu Manchu, ruby ring on the right hand, his left arm contorted like a chicken wing.
I'm here to get the limo. He sent the limo home.
No, not my limo, guy.
I got a feeling this whole thing is going to end up with me on the train on the way back.
It's all good.
He's from Canada and Detroit. I never met him. We kind of met online during that whole Canadian trucker COVID deal. Vinny's got lots to say about that.
the Library of Parliament, that used to be the Law Society Upper Canada's the building right over there. And they suck everything out of your phone. That's how they found out everybody was donating the convoy and everything.
Fact, I come to learn, Vinny's got lots to say about almost anything.
They don't teach the young kids English anymore. Like when my first old lady went to school over there, they taught them English. See the one with this? This is a toonie. One day my old lady throws the credit card out at Irish Bayou, out the Cadillac thing, so I pull over the caddy. It's Crown Divine Right that runs this place. It was founded, it wasn't founded on your rights, American rights. When I walked up the middle of the road, I put my camera on his face. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Same thing you were doing, spying on people, but I'm just doing it closer up."
Doesn't he ever stop talking?
This is actually a consulate of the Royaume de France, the king. I got a letter from him in here, the guy who would be King Henri Duc d'Orléans.
Turns out Vinny likes to be surrounded by cool old things that don't work really well.
Come on in.
His tiny apartment also does double duty as a podcast studio.
You're gonna see me, you're gonna swing it on me.
Live from Ottawa, B&A presents Take It Away, Vinny!
And a sort of carnival-like museum. Now, Vinny's show doesn't have very many listeners.
Hello. Hello.
But it doesn't matter, because nothing can keep Vinny from talking.
And tonight we're going to talk about your rights, why Canadians are taking it up the ass from the Americans.
I've been in Canada over 24 hours now, and I haven't seen hide nor hair of this fucking limousine. I've seen buses, I've seen trains, but I ain't seen no limousine.
We gotta take 2 buses for 1 hour, and Vinny's yapping the whole time. And I'm starting to hear some clues.
Okay, Vargas, I got the guys here, and we're gonna be there as soon as I start the car. Yeah, to put the hose on.
For the mechanic.
Yeah, is he there?
No.
Okay, well, we'll do it ourselves, I don't care. It's not hard, we just gotta screw the power steering line in.
Okay, wait. All right. So, the car, this limo, how long is this limo?
About the length of, it's a little bit longer than this FedEx truck.
How much does this car weigh?
It weighs 7,200 pounds.
And it doesn't have power steering?
No.
Well, how do...
We can steer it Armstrong with 2 people steer. You know, you could steer it going straight, but when you go around a corner, it takes 2 people to move.
All the way to Detroit? I get a headache. Vin.
American Coney Island. So good, even Al Roker from the Today Show eats here. Not like that other guy, Al Joker, who eats at Lafayette. So make sure you're a roker and not a joker. American Coney Island.
This message of uplift is brought to you by business and personal wealth advisor Luke Nowacki, who reminds you that what does it profit a man to gain the whole world but never enter the kingdom of God? But while you're waiting, Nowacki wants you to remember that overreaction is not a sound financial strategy. So call Luke Nowacki at 248-663-4748 for sound financial advice.
How much does this car weigh?
It weighs 7,200 pounds.
And it doesn't have power steering?
No.
Well, how do...
We can steer it Armstrong with 2 people steer. You know, you could steer it going straight, but when you go around a corner, it takes 2 people to move.
All the way to Detroit? I get a headache. Vin. It didn't occur to you to take it to the shop maybe like
I can't
a month
see.
ago?
Look at me. Look, I would if I could. Nobody help me.
Well, what about this guy?
I don't drive.
He don't. He don't.
Now this is Chad. He sort of appeared out of nowhere. He likes the Blues Brothers and dresses like one. He's Vinny's unpaid gopher. And Chad doesn't know how to drive.
Thank you. Thank you. It's the Casa de Vinny. So you were a biker. You went to law school.
Yeah, I've got good and bad things in my life.
You might have murdered a guy.
No, it's not that bad.
You got a trophy wife, but she's with her mother. somehow you got a stretch limo in this.
Oh, I've got things, but I'm getting old and I don't need half the shit I got anymore. If I die, who's it gonna good to? You know, my kid don't want this stuff.
You're dying, so you're giving your stuff away.
Well, I'm gonna die pretty soon. Look at me, man.
This in the reality show business is what's known as the big reveal. Vinny leads us into the bowels of a dank and dingy basement of the parking garage. The limo is hiding in the far dark corner.
I gotta find my key. It's them damn gold-plated keys. When you bought a new Fleetwood back in the day, they give you gold keys.
Vinny, that's not a license plate.
This is just because, see, somebody stole my plate. I'm just trying to find my flashlight here. That's the VCR. It goes from the back. You gotta get a TV though, because my cousin took the TV out. I need more people. It'll go back.
Oh, you wanna?
I'm just gonna push it back a little bit.
Okay.
See, it's rolling. I need some more muscle power.
Hold on. It's not rolling.
Well,
okay. Oh, it's rolling.
Yeah, but I need more help. It'll go back.
Oh, this is gonna be long.
Once it moves, it's.
I'm only.
He wants
499 miles from home. What a beaut. But you have to overlook a few things like a dead battery.
See the miles on it? Look.
Yeah, just turn on the lights.
I can't because there's no battery in it.
A powerless steering on a 4-ton car. A steering wheel as limp as a wet noodle.
Don't worry about the wobble in the wheel. It ain't gonna. It's just this tilt.
What?
It's tight to turn and to go. It don't hurt nothing.
Plug in window wipers.
When you want the windshield wash to come on, you just plug it on right here.
Okay, it starts raining really bad.
Yeah, you
and
put
I
that
pull
on.
over and then plug it in?
Yeah, you plug it in. There's the tits to it right there.
The gaping pool of oil, the shellacked vinyl top, the spray painted rust.
See, it turns blue once it's clean. That's just dust sitting in
No,
the
I still see the brown there.
Yeah, a little bit.
See that there? Yeah. It's not coming out. But hey, the lighter worked. He told me it's blue book. It is blue.
So while Vinny went upstairs to get the battery trickling on the charger and a screwdriver to take the plate off of another car, Byron and I discussed the options.
Listen, man, it's like this. I'm all for an adventure, you know it. We've been across the Rio Grande, we've done a lot of stuff, right? And I don't even mind walking down the freeway, but I don't know how I feel about getting in a car, the steering wheel shaking all over, it could just come off in your hands like a bad Bugs Bunny movie.
My neighbors be pissed off if this is in my driveway, man. There's that to think about. His wife decorated it nicely, though. Yeah, we're gonna... How do we break it to the guy? Just have to tell him.
This battery ain't gonna start the car because it's weak, man. I'm gonna buy you a brand new battery.
Dude, I love you. I love the gesture. I'm taking the train back.
You don't want to take the car?
No, I don't think so. You can sell that here, but
I'm not interested in it. I give it to you because it's, a prop. I'll drive the damn thing to Detroit myself, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not ready to go today. You know that.
Yeah. Well, all it takes is a battery and hook up the hose.
Did you know that with Hall Financial's new Easy Start program, you can lock your mortgage rate 2% below the current market? If you were to purchase a $250,000 home with 5% down, instead of paying $1,600 per month, you only pay $1,300 per month, saving you almost $4,000 a year. See if Easy Start is a fit for you. Get started now at 866-CALL-HALL or go to callhallfirst.com.
I'm all for an adventure, you know it. We've been across the Rio Grande, we've done a lot of stuff, right? And I don't even mind walking down the freeway, but I don't know how I feel about getting in a car, the steering wheel shaking all over, it could just come off in your hands like a bad Bugs Bunny movie.
Dude, I love you. I love the gesture. I'm taking the train back.
You don't want to take the car?
No, I don't think so.
You know, I can jump this one off. I'll show you it runs. Let's at least do that. Even if we don't move it, I can show you this one runs. But I just got to start this one up to... Every time I go under here, I bust my head. I think my gas is in the trunk.
What are you doing?
I'm starting this car up to start.
Why?
Because I got to jump this car to start this one if you want to hear it run.
But I didn't want to hear it run. I wanted to get on the train to Toronto. This whole adventure was coming off the rails.
It'll crank it if I put that battery in and crank it with this, you know, jump it with this car, it'll start right up.
We don't want you to do this.
Yeah, but I want to start the car up to show you it runs.
Hey, Vin. Enough.
This is a Hot Rod 460. It's got an exhaust leak in the front, but it runs perfect. That one runs better. Get the jumper cables out of the back of this Cadillac. Hold on, I got to get the keys to it. I got to get this key off of this thing, and I got one fucking hand. Can you get these fucking keys off of this thing?
I'm bleeding because I whacked my head off the
Okay,
wall.
I'm sorry.
Wait, you hit the beam?
Yeah, that metal beam.
You just said before you hit the beam, you're gonna make me hit the beam. Come over here.
Yeah, and I did.
And then he did. He said, I bet you I walk into the beam.
And I did.
And he did.
Oh my God.
Oh, Canada. The Vinny wants to convince, he's gonna convince me that it will start. Which, I came all this way.
What is he fucking doing, man? I'm coming back.
He's doing that with one arm.
Okay, hot is red. Okay, let me try it.
Good engine.
Runs perfect, didn't I tell you? That's water.
It's dropping oil, bro. But it moves.
If it's not water, it's power steering fluid.
Probably.
Yeah. I gotta lock this down and we'll take it to the garage.
Okay.
Now remember, this is a 4-ton car with no power steering. So Vinny sat in the front to lend me his one good arm. And off we go to the mechanic.
Having a fucking hernia.
Yeah, that's why you need a strong guy up here, not me. Just go straight up. I'm telling you, this would make it back once we hook up the thing. It runs like a fucking top, buddy.
Oh, it's smooth. Shifts.
It rides nicer than your 77, like I told you.
No, it doesn't, no.
Their 77 rode nicer?
Yeah. Your brakes are spongy in this too.
Yeah, well, that's nothing. They just ain't been worked.
Well, it's a 7,200 pound car, bro.
Yeah. It stops perfect. Okay, just double park here beside these cars. Find a spot there to park.
Just gonna let that run, let that battery do what it's gonna do. Yeah.
The brakes were as soft as a fish belly. Turns out there wasn't any brake fluid in the front cylinder.
No, it needs a little bit in.
Sure does.
I got some in the trunk, buddy. I gotta pop the trunk together. I'm gonna go down here and see this guy do it for us quicker.
That's why there's no brakes. Come down here, dude.
So I added some fluid.
Down here, see it?
Good thing we were stalled near the mechanic shop, because the brake line was dripping like a stabbing victim.
I mean, if you're gonna have a limousine, stretch limousine, an old one, you want it to be a little nicer than this. Like he said, you're gonna have it for a prop, I guess, right? I wanted to take it around the United States and use it as my news truck, but you know, I mean, no, at 10 hours, no. We lost Vinny. Vinny left with our microphone and we need it because we got to go get a train and no way to get there.
This is what Vinny does.
Does Vinny always leave you standing on the side of the road?
A lot of times, not on the side of the road, standing beside a car, but a lot of times on Parliament, he'll go off to go somewhere and talk to somebody, and I end up watching his equipment.
Ottawa Toronto train today.
They say a Canadian is sort of like an American, but without the gun. And that may be true, but in Detroit at least, we prefer to drive our stretch limo with brakes and power steering. They also say the Canadians are more nice when they're being mean than Americans are when they're being nice. And it was really nice of Vinny to offer me the car. Very nice. But I didn't feel bad about leaving it, and I won't go home empty-handed, because I'll go home with a kooky new friend, Ottawa Vinny, the motor-mouthed, freedom-loving OG.
Oh my God, I would watch that show. I would, because I'm thinking, okay, what is Vinny doing next? Did Chad recover?
Talking Chad, yeah.
Oh my God. Charlie, you're a bigger man than I could ever be.
I was like, hey, Byron, I'm like, what the fuck? Who is Chad? Like, Vinny.
He just showed up out of nowhere. Literally, I'm like, where'd this guy come from?
And Vinny's got this Bumblebee yellow LTD. That's the thing we're going to jump to Cadillac with, right? And it's parked underneath a beam that's as high as your nose. And he turns it on, and the Cadillac's on, and this garage is filling up with fucking smoke, and you're dying. And Chad says, I got distracted. He told me not to hit my head. And then I looked at him and I said, I'm not going to hit my head. And then I hit my head because you distracted me.
It's like Benny Hill all over again. Wow.
Byron, do you think, Vinny, I don't know if you're listening, but Byron, do you think Vinny has a wife?
Oh, don't put me on the spot. I never met her.
Nobody.
He went to show me a picture of her and couldn't find her.
But is that the person who's always on Twitter?
I don't know.
Byron, she's always responding on his behalf to us or about us or to us on Twitter. I don't know.
But she kind of spells like him.
And she's, yeah. I'm going to just leave it at that. I mean, she seems like a nice person if she's real. So I don't know. I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm like Byron. I'm going to leave that one alone.
Hey, Karen, you wrote a really good line like while you're watching it. I said it was dripping like a stabbing victim. And you're like, it was dripping like Chad.
That's what he was doing. He's walking around bleeding.
What the fuck?
You know,
I'm
one
like,
thing, Charlie, is, you know, watching that back, and even as I put it all together like that, it's hard to describe the scene there, right? I mean, you're seeing it on camera, but you're only seeing the view of what the camera is seeing, right? Because there's a whole 360 going on around you, and there's stuff going on behind you and off to the sides of you, and didn't actually see Chad smash his head, which would have been funny. But you mentioned the smoke, right? Like, we couldn't breathe, and like, I mean, it was blue smoke in there, and you couldn't hear, and it was, you know, and all this stuff is going on, and it was just so crazy, hard to explain it all. I think that caught like 75% of what happened, but
so
not
time
really.
of your life, huh,
The other thing that I really enjoyed is we were watching it back. Mark, I don't know if you know, but like Karen's mic was cracked open a little bit, and I could hear her laughing all the way through the piece.
Done on purpose, yeah.
And you know what? And I'm gonna tell you this: I don't laugh easily.
I know.
I do not laugh easily. That was some funny, excuse my language, shit. It was hilarious. I would love to see an extended version of that. I would. I'd watch that. I'd watch that as a show.
And he would love to see you.
No, thank you. I'm good. I already heard that on Twitter that we should have been there.
Where's Karen? Where's Karen?
Karen doesn't exist. I'm like his wife.
Yeah, hey babe, where's Karen? I thought Red was coming. I've got some weed in here. Let me get it out of my pocket. Wait a minute, it's in the other pocket. Can't reach into that pocket with this hand. I got to reach over with this hand. Well, what's it doing in that fucking pocket?
How did it get
What are you
there?
talking about? Now I'm really surprised in myself. I'm really surprised in myself because we're going, right? And what we did was we drove to Toronto and then we dropped the car and then we rode on to Ottawa because in case the fucking car broke down, right?
In case.
In case we took it, we were just going to leave it as a potted plant for the nice Canadian people and then drive the rest of the way, right? But as we're going, I'm really surprising myself. I'm thinking as these texts are coming in.
He's trying to warn you.
Like, no battery. I'm starting to put it together. And I'm like,
He said, "Put the
wait
holes
a
in."
minute. I didn't even get it. Like, he sent me some pictures, but it's kind of like fat chicks do on the dating sites.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like in the corner, like that's the nice
You were
tire.
catfished, Charlie.
I was catfished. And I'm adding up all the costs. Like gas in Canada is like $4.50 a gallon.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? And like the train tickets are outrageously expensive, and they don't tell you about the extra $100 tax on the fucker. Okay, and we get up there, and I'm trying to be budget conscious, right? Any Hollywood executives listening? I'm trying to be budget conscious. And we get there, and what do I see? What do I get?
A pile of
A
what?
purple poop. A pile of purple poop. Now, what's beautiful is Vinny's such a gentleman, Byron, that he checks us into a 5-star, baby. Okay, it looks like a 5-star in the lobby and shit, right? Looks like it's old. But you go up into the room, and it looks like a Radisson, but Vinny paid for it.
Oh.
And Vinny said, "Hey, listen, I arranged a little discount, right?" And he goes, "I check on the name Dupapalier or whatever the Dupapalier," and they're like, "No, sir." And he goes, "Try Parker. I hyphenate it." I'm like, Vinny's on the run, he's in a bike gang and shit. Went to law school and everything.
I'd love to see a conversation between Vinny and Red. Now, that's what I would like to see. Now, that's an episode in itself.
I was on the bus. He was like, "Hey, Red," and like, right there's where Annie was born, right there in that hospital. And I'm like, could you imagine these two high-ons? Next to each other, just floating around Ottawa on a bus. Nice bus system, by the way, Ottawa. Well done. Well done.
And I noticed everybody thanked the bus driver when they got off the bus. I was like, look at everybody all nice and everything in Canada. Oh, boy.
And I was pretending I was from Manitoba, right, bud? Get out. I'm from, no, not Manitoba. Where's Regina? Saskatchewan? Yeah, I'm from Vagina. Get out, eh? Well,
it's a great piece.
Yeah, it is. It's well put together, Byron. You really captured as much as any 2 or 4 eyes could capture. It was great. I enjoyed it.
One thing I do want to say, I'm sure Vinny's listening. I'm sure he is.
Love you,
There's no
baby.
way he's not, right, Charlie. I just want to say thank you very much. We had a great time, and I hope you have a sense of humor about the whole thing. We really enjoyed ourselves, and you're a great guy, and Chad's a great guy, and thank you for having us up there. And all the Canadians that we ran into up there were awesome too. I couldn't have had a better time.
Let me think about that. Yeah, that's true. Now, what's not in the piece is Vinny's like, "Hey, babe, okay. I got an appointment for you guys, for all of you. Karen, Mark, Red, you, to get some credentials.
Credentials?
To enter into Parliament." I'm like, "Well, look at me with some credentials to enter into Parliament." "Oh, when you come back up here, you're going to have to..."
You're going back?
Cover. So we went into the National Press Association building, and we go up there, and the director is like changing his shirt.
What?
I don't know. He goes,
He's shoeless.
His name was...
shoeless.
I kid you not, his name
He was
is...
shoeless. He had no shoes on.
No shoes. He's changing his... they're very casual, these Canadians.
Or...
You know what I mean? And he goes, "No problem. You just email me with your picture. No problem, same day." And he gives me his card, and I swear to God, his name is Pierre Perrier. Oh. So we got that going for us.
Oh, wow. Look at us.
I have a feeling it's not the last we're going to see of that limo in some shape or fashion.
Vinny's going to get it all fixed up, baby.
He's going to drive it down here.
You know what else is not in there? There was a mechanic. This was Mechanics Row we were at. It stalled in the middle of the road, basically. Vinny wanders off. He doesn't know this guy, but a guy comes, and he's a NASCAR mechanic. He's a mechanic during the week, and then during the races in Canada, like the Toronto 400, he drives the pace car. He works, in the garage, and he looks at the motor, and I said, "Well, what do you think?" And he says, "This thing shouldn't be on the road."
Duh.
I could have told you that.
I could have told you that.
Exactly.
And then Byron and I are driving late at night, and he's like, "Could you imagine?" And I'm like, "No. I totally could."
What is that? The 402? What is that? That comes
401.
401. Yeah, that's a long, straight, potentially dangerous drive.
Oh, and by the
Well,
way,
unless it's straight, you won't have to turn.
Well, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, long and straight wasn't the big problem, but when we were in Toronto traffic and it was stop, go, stop, go, stop, go, like, no.
Wow.
We'd have been totally screwed.
Oh, but it would have been
That looked fun though, adventurous. That's the thing. You connected with Vinny, invited you up, and you went, you met him, you saw. Yeah, I mean he's and he's a huge supporter and fan, and he has been for some time.
But it's a pile of purple poop, Vinny. Purple poop. Hey Joe, you owe me $100, bro. I got purple poop in this shit like 4 times now.
I think he owes Byron 100.
Oh, did Byron hold the sign? 500, Joe.
Did.
There you go.
Nursing home Joe. Big stories come up with that guy later. Anyway, hey Byron, it was great road dogging with you, man, and I mean it. Like I haven't talked to my agent since before COVID. He's kind of a big whip now, and he wants to see it. So you and I. We've been around. We could do it. We could knock this election out if we want to. But we're older, and we don't want to be told what to do. Nobody wants to be told what to do. So we'll do it our own way.
You've earned your freedom, both of you.
That's it, man. So it is. I respect you, man, and I really like you, Byron. It is nice getting to know you like later in their career because it's real hard to do this at that level. That's a turnaround of 3 days. That includes traveling.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So anyway. Thank you, Vinny. All right, now I want to get into what should we do? Should we talk about the little thing on the corner, or should we get into the monster who kidnapped and killed a little girl?
Let's do the corner first.
Okay, the corner. Okay, all right. The corner is brought to you by ADR, experienced overseeing more than $250 million in private and public construction projects since 2001. Reduce your costs, increase your bottom line. ADR save clients millions. They are experts in procurement and government compliance and information technology. ADR, honest, ethical, smart. Call Barry Allen Tuckett, 248-318-9424 for a consultation. Get the job done right, on time, on budget. Fix your shit. 248-318-9424.
Does he do limos?
I don't know if he does, but he doesn't know. He works on his own cars.
Well, you said fix it. So.
He is a Detroit guy. He does. Yeah. He's got a Shelby or some shit.
Ooh,
Yeah,
nice.
he sure
Jeez.
does. Yeah. Okay. This is a little scene. This is Lafayette and Michigan Avenue. This is a gateway to the world. It really is, if you know anything about it. And there was a scene the other day of a panhandler and a paisano, right? Making a curious couple sitting side by side on the bus stop bench right down there. Mm-hmm. The panhandler was asleep. His fly was undone. His mouth was agape. A plastic cup wedged between his thighs, kind of like this. The paisano sitting next to him was dressed in a crisp golf shirt, Bermuda shorts, and blue leather deck shoes. He sat motionless, staring at nothing in particular as the afternoon sun blazed away and the panhandler belched fumes in his general direction. Now, it went like this for about an hour or so, and finally I asked the paisano if he needed help. No inglés, he said sheepishly. Spanish? I asked him again. Necesita ayuda. He said he was waiting for his 6 o'clock appointment to fill out an application at Lafayette, Coney Island. He came 2 hours early since he needed the work and had nothing else to do. His name was Esteban. Esteban was a recent arrival from Colombia. Where'd you cross the border? Texas, I asked in Spanish. Did you claim asylum? No, he said, presenting a crisp burgundy passport. Tourist visa. Esteban was not a political refugee. He was not escaping gangs or violence or hunger. He was plump and well-groomed and had worked as a chef in a high-end steakhouse in Bogota. Esteban had no plans to visit the Sulaks or taste real Mackinac fudge. He was using the tourist visa to lay his eyes upon the eternal flame of the steak grill. He was looking for a job in a restaurant and had no intention of leaving the United States after 6 months as the tourist visa requires. That's what he told me. Because there are opportunities here, his countrymen in Detroit told him. And so Esteban, a new father, applied a year ago for the visa, got one, bought a round-trip ticket for 2 million pesos, and now here he was at the corner of Michigan and Lafayette with a panhandler breathing all over him. Overstaying the visa. I remember that one. It's the smarter man's hustle. No cartels, no scorpions, no rivers to cross. And do you know what the Rio Grande does to blue suede shoes? I mean, no, with the visa, it's an on-time departure, a bag of peanuts, a cocktail, Beverly Hills Cop 2 on demand, a changeover in Miami, and 16 hours later, listo! You're disembarking in Detroit Metro Airport and hailing an Uber. With all the spectacular footage of the human tidal wave pouring over the Rio Grande into the United States, this gentlemanly border jumper has gotten lost in the national conversation. Conservative estimates put the number of people who have gained entry into the United States through the southern border at 3.5 million people since Biden took office. Meanwhile, the number of people who have overstayed their visas in that same time period surpasses 1.1 million people, according to the Department of Homeland Security. Now, we don't even have the last 10 months statistics yet. Last year alone, they numbered 850,000 people, a record. But this group is not included in the immigration totals. They're not. But that's what the government does. It misleads with numbers. It paints with a warped brush. They're not telling you what America really looks like. Consider Randall the Panhandler. He's not considered unemployed because he's not actively looking for work. But there he was, jobless, checking for holes in his eyelids as commuters were taking the bus ride home. One guy who didn't work, another guy who wanted to, neither of them accounted for in the federal data. Now, Esteban was learning the hard way that Detroit is no easy mark. There was no appointment for him at Lafayette. There was no job. They speak Arabic, Albanian, and Pidgin English there, but no Espanol. They hire relatives. I felt bad for Esteban. His wife was expecting a bank wire that wasn't coming. His money was running out. He had that hangdog look of a cornered fugitive. I hate to see a desperate man, and I'm sure I would have taken the same gamble with my life if I were in Esteban's blue loafers. So I reached out to a friend who has a friend who owns a restaurant, and an interview was arranged for the following afternoon. Now, my friends, imagine the Rockwellian scene. The dapper paisano smiling goofily in his blue boat shoes as the sleepy-eyed panhandler wheezed away like a kazoo.
Wow. That's pretty good, Charlie. And it's true. You're right. And it's completely two different worlds and the exact same thing.
I don't know what's up.
Two forgotten people that are in this country.
Overlooked and uncounted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, and there's a reek of desperation. I mean, I feel that all over the country.
Understandably,
you know,
yeah.
And it's in Canada. Mm-hmm. And who speaks that? We just get bullshit, and we'll talk about the bullshit they're handing us. But I wanted to.
But come on, kudos to you for taking the time to make a connection for this guy. You don't know him. You know what I'm saying? That's something that people don't do often enough. So I don't want that. For me, that's something that I honed in on. So
thank you for that, because I'll tell you the truth. I do the same thing. I don't hate human beings. It's a human, family. Mm-hmm. I don't like what's going on at the border. I don't like the disarray. I don't like people are in the shadows. But when you look somebody in the eye, you can't let them die.
But it's a humanitarian component, Charlie. He has a wife, it's a family. He's trying, whether he's trying the right way, the wrong way, or what he's doing.
He's here. He's in front of your face.
Exactly. And my thing is that if you can do something to help someone, they shouldn't have to ask.
I don't get. I was actually kind of surprised because I'm like, why are we still giving out tourist visas at a time like this? Because when you start looking into that data, you will realize who are the biggest overstayers.
Nobody's looking into that data.
Right? It's the Mexicans, the Colombians, the Venezuelans, lots of Chinese.
They aren't looking, Charlie.
You know what I mean? The Europeans are doing it. It's the easy. And you know what's going to happen. They just passed the law. Like, if you do this, boy, there's severe penalties now. No, everybody's going to get amnesty. It's just going to be at some point, it's going to be amnesty. And it's a mess.
You got to have the enforcement component, which.
Okay, now I want to get into this case of Rashad Trice, the guy that is now being held for sexual assault and the stabbing of Samari Cole and the kidnapping and murder of her daughter, Winter Cole Smith, a 2-year-old. Before I get into it, I want to give you a word from Next Evo. Mark?
Sure. That's a tough transition out of that.
That's okay.
But yeah.
Well, thanks for that. Thanks for your save the. But what are you, the New York Times theater critic?
I might as well just point that
do
out.
the copy.
You put me on the spot
you can
there.
do that because this is gonna calm you down, take away some pain.
Thank
so
you.
That's
where I was going. Have you tried it, Karen?
Do that. I have not ordered the stress gummies yet, but I'm going to. I pulled up the site. I just didn't get a chance. But I'm going to.
Summertime can be very stressful. So if you're stressed out, trouble sleeping, any of that stuff, give CBDs a try. Why not? What do you have to lose? NextEvo.com is the one we use. NextEvo.com/NoBS. That's the promo code that you so conveniently forgot, Karen. But they have the Next Evo Natural CBD Sleep Complex. It's got CBD with melatonin, so you can wake up refreshed. The melatonin puts you out. The long-term melatonin keeps you out. CBD does its work. And they have the Natural Stress CBD Complex that's got CBDs with ashwagandha. Everybody knows what ashwagandha is.
That's
what
a big
you
deal.
got, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Soothes away stress, and so you can enjoy your summer. You don't have to worry about things. Stay well this summer. Smarter CBDs from Next Evo Naturals. Once again, NextEvo.com/NoBS. And right now you can get 25% off.
Oh.
Free bottle of Pure CBD, which is a $50 value. So there you go.
Yes, I'm glad I waited. Okay.
I'm glad I waited. There you go. Okay, and again, you don't get high on it.
No.
No, it's no THC.
It helps you specifically to sleep.
Yeah, which as a narcoleptic, I have medicine to keep me awake, so I need something sometimes.
That's incredible. That
I
they
know.
should
I feel
put
like
you on the
Elvis.
bottle.
I feel like Elvis.
They
Right?
should put you on the bottle. You're like this. When I hold it, no, wait a minute.
I think it's more like this.
Oh, dude, wow, a narcoleptic is taking medicine to stay awake, and he's got to go to sleep.
Sometimes when I need it.
Next Evo.
There you go.
Corner of the market on that.
/NoBS.
All right, let me do this. Thanks for that, Mark. That was actually quite professional. All right, look in there. Let me just give you the rundown on this fucking guy, allegedly this fucking guy.
I hate this guy.
Rashad Trice, this punk right here. This fuck. You know what I mean? This fuck. Just one-on-one in the ring. This fuck. This runt motherfucker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Decides he gets into it with baby mama. They got a kid together. He takes the other kid. Right?
A 1-year-old.
Amber Alert.
Right.
And strangles her to death with a phone charging cord and then dumps her in an alley. All right. Why was this guy out? Now it's a mess. I'm reading everything. It's a mess. It's not clear by the written stuff. So, I decided to take this one on. And here's, I had to do a spreadsheet.
It's not an easy one. I'm glad you took it on because it is hard to follow. It is tough to read.
It's necessary.
This is COVID bullshit. And the sum total of this is who else is out there. Yep. Let me tell you what this guy did. This is May of 2021. Number one, on May 2nd, 2021, he's arrested in Clinton County for a domestic violence incident. The police think enough to draw up the charge, give it to the prosecutor. They do nothing. I don't know if it's the mother. I'm quite convinced it is. I'm waiting for the official document. But sources, this woman. Okay? So off he goes. On the 23rd of May, he's picked up in Monroe County. And he's charged with 1 count of domestic violence against the mother and 3 counts of assault, felony assault, against police officers. Okay? Same woman. He's arraigned, and a pretrial date is set, and he's released. Okay. 6 days later, she's in the car with him. She told the Monroe police, by the way, I'm afraid he's gonna fucking shoot me if you let him go, right, Mark?
Yep.
That's in the police report. So it stands to reason I'm waiting to hear specifically what's she doing in a car.
Mm-hmm.
So you can maybe start putting this together, what's going on. He gets in a road rage incident, pulls over, slugs a guy in the fucking face, and takes off. State police are called. They're looking for him. He ends up back in Clinton Township again. State police come. Police are doing their work. The Bath Township police come. He assaults 3 officers.
Jeez.
Okay. He's taken to Ingham County Jail where he punched the guy. We all remember Ingham County.
Oh, yeah.
Right? The MSU shooter, and they invented charges, and he thumbed his nose at probation. They didn't do anything. Neighbors called about him shooting off the porch. The police are still pretending they never got a call. We've proven that. It's right here on the wall. You still haven't answered that one. Okay, so he goes to Ingham County Jail. Clinton County charges him. He sees a judge in June, a couple days later, pleads guilty. They give him terms of his release, his probation, no less. Now get this. 2 domestic violence. You beat 6 cops. Why are you getting probation? In fact, if you got a $1,000 bond in Monroe for beating her ass and beating cops' ass, why was it only $1,000? And why didn't somebody in Ingham County or Clinton County, the prosecutor's office, or those judges go, wait a minute, we got to violate him on the bond, and we're not going to give him a bond. Oh, it's COVID because we don't want to deal with it. Right? Okay. So the guy's got a court date in Monroe in July, doesn't go to it. He doesn't abide by the terms in Clinton County. 2 warrants for his arrest. Nobody's going to get him. In August, he's in Livingston County. They pull him over for a traffic violation. He tries to run over the police. Okay, they get him. He gets probation.
Again.
Okay, he gets probation in the Clinton County thing. Ingham County, you know, the road rage and all that, never, ever filed charges. Let him walk.
That's amazing.
So once he's doing all this shit, Ingham County gets, oh shit, we better bring those charges. So now he's got charges. So now he's walking around free. Finally, Monroe adjudicates the shit. He goes to court in April of 2022.
Okay.
Remember, what's he done so far? 2 domestic violence.
Road rage. The
Tried to
cops.
run over 3 cops. Got in a fight with 6 other cops, right? You know he violated the terms of it, and you gave him probation. 10 days later, Ingham County, on the late charges, Ingham County could have stopped everything.
Yep.
They gave him probation. And 10 weeks later, sexual assault, stabbing, kidnapping, murder.
Yep.
So, where is the criminal justice system, specifically the courthouse?
Asleep.
They're bums.
Asleep at the wheel, Charlie.
They totally faked this COVID shit. You were essential workers and you didn't do it. Right? The white collar part of this. The blue collar guys did it.
Yep. The police kept going after him, kept catching him, right? To their own peril, too. He assaulted them. They did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
So why is he out walking around? And now a 2-year-old is dead.
Could have been stopped. Now,
It should have been stopped.
the cops go, this is how it works. And you know what you were saying before the show, how many are out there?
How many more people have, and I'm not going to even say fallen through the cracks, because they haven't fallen through the cracks. They've been let out of the door. This is willful neglect. I mean, that's what it is. But how many more people are out there that just haven't surfaced by doing something as heinous as this, that has attracted that level of attention? But they're out there. They're walking around and, like ticking time bombs.
We're seeing it every week, and I'm telling you, the media's got to pay attention every time you see one of these guys when it's all gobbledygook. Because Anthony McRae, the MSU gunman, they just waved him through. The guy that held everybody hostage in the Detroit gas station and started assassinating people. His name is Samuel Anthony McRae, no relation, but that ought to tell you how redundant this is.
Wow.
That's an armed robber that was getting probation. Now, here's what we got now. Dana Nessel. I'm going to combine all the cases because she loves a podium. Okay, she loves a podium. How about you put together a blue ribbon assessment panel study about what happened and who's out there and start protecting us? Because the police, when you talk to them, will let you know we're not safe. I don't want to cause panic, but we're not safe. Don't flip people off when they drive like a fucker.
But there's a system that they can all access to be able to determine if in fact there are any earlier offenses or convictions, or so the information is there, because at some point I'd say, well, is that connectivity available, or is it as good as it should be? But it exists.
In a 3-month period, this man had 12 criminal charges, 9 of which were Class A felonies.
Jesus
probation. You know what I mean? Like, this is how do I say it? Let me think of the word. It's not elitism. It's like plebiscism. I want to think of a new word for this, where the great white savior, the judge and the prosecutors who are so down with what's happened, because this is a black man, there's a black child. We can't. We have to rethink what we're doing. But who dies?
A black child.
True. Yep, exactly.
Who gets raped?
The mother. You're right. You're absolutely right, Charlie.
She was terrorized by him.
You know what I mean? You don't have to. The prosecutor that let the MSU gunman go, invented the fake misdemeanor of transporting a loaded weapon in a motor vehicle when it was actually a bicycle. I looked him up on Twitter, and the morning after the shooting, it was some douchebag professor from New York going, I would have died today, but I was already dead. Parkland, Sandy Hook, how many more, right? And the guy, the prosecutor, assistant prosecutor in Ingham County, retweeted it with the finger pointing down, and he said, this, right? Read this. How many more? And then he went silent when he realized he was the fucker responsible for the death of our kids. I'm not a lock 'em up guy. These violent assholes.
Oh, lock 'em up, yeah.
Running around county to county hunting a woman who said he's going to shoot me, he's going to hurt us. Oh, come on.
But we hear that all the time, Charlie, from law enforcement officers, and they say they do the job and they arrest, they go through the process, they do the paperwork, and then that's it. And so at the end of the day, some of them feel like, well, what's the point?
They keep doing the work. I know that, but I do know, again, Chief Sosby in Lansing. There were shots fired calls. Your officers did respond to it. According to the neighbors, never got out of the car. Explain yourself. And I got an idea because I know Lansing police. If the prosecutor doesn't want to prosecute or charge for serious gun crimes, then why am I getting out of the car?
That's true.
It's a culture that starts dripping down, and we're all seeing it come apart. And again, I'm not for police beating people's asses, bullshit charges, petty addy shit.
But I don't want people to get caught up either in all of the fanfare that surrounded this situation in the end. The FBI and everybody all of a sudden is available and accessible, and they're talking about they're going after the death penalty and federal charges. But then there's like, man, these charges aren't going to stick, and that's not going to happen. But it feeds and it fuels the emotion around it, but it does nothing for the reality of what created it.
I get some camera.
Exactly.
I get camera. That's what the feds are doing here. That's what the attorney general is doing
Everybody.
here. Because everybody else underneath you waved them on through. How about a look at that?
Yeah.
More gun laws. Okay, you going to enforce them?
And that's what we've been saying all along. doesn't need, you don't need any new processes or any more laws or any more policy. You have to have enforcement and accountability for what's already out there.
You know what else is bullshit in the news? I'm going to tell you what's bullshit in the news.
The No BS News Hour presents What's Bullshit in the News?
That's disgusting.
That's your favorite imaging, Karen.
No, it's not.
You know it is.
That was purple poop.
That's another 100.
600
$600 now.
Swing, Nanny Noonan. What we got first, Mark?
Let's see. Where do you want to start? You want to start with cocaine in the White House?
Okay, sure. What do we got? What's the news?
Give us the line.
Well, I mean, this thing's been going on forever, right? I mean, then we thought it was all done, and today there was a little bit of breaking news, and that is that the Secret Service said, hey, you know what? We're done with this. We don't have fingerprints. We don't have DNA on this little bag of cocaine. We don't know whose it is, and it's crazy. We don't even have good footage to use for when this cocaine might have been dropped
From the White
off.
House.
From the entrance of the White House.
A working entrance of the White House.
Yes.
So there's no fingerprints, there's no boogers, there's no videotape. Anybody believe that?
No.
Nope.
Okay, well, you know, the bullshit is everybody wants to know if it's Hunter Biden. That's the truth. It's like the Pelosi thing all over again, right? I doubt it was Hunter Biden, but okay, maybe it is Hunter Biden.
You're not helping yourself.
But you're hiding that from us.
Yeah.
I know it's bullshit, but you know what's bullshit is there was more important news that nobody covered. Here's what that is. A House committee released an email, okay? It is the FBI discussing pulling down disinformation accounts on Facebook. They're going to lean into Mark Zuckerberg over that big pussy. I hope he gets his ass beat in the Coliseum. They're going to pressure Facebook and Instagram to remove some accounts.
Here's the email on the screen.
Okay. And it was asked by the intelligence service of Ukraine. So this is the FBI talking amongst themselves. Hello, please see attached request from the SBU, the Ukrainian security forces, containing Facebook and Instagram accounts believed to be spreading disinformation. That old one again. The SBU has requested you review and, if appropriate, deletion, suspension of these accounts. This is a foreign spy agency talking to our domestic spy agency to go lean on social media to shut up and shut down
private companies,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because they don't like what we're saying over here. And what's with the fucking left wing here? Like, I'm no right wingy guy, no matter what you want to say on the left, because the right don't think I'm fucking right wing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, remember they tried to ban NWA, fuck the police.
Yep.
Luther Campbell too, yeah. Two Live Crew.
Yep, remember?
Yeah, I remember it well.
Remember Mapplethorpe and his homoerotic, stuff in the National Gallery? Remember Piss Christ?
Yes, I do.
Remember that one?
Yes.
It's an outrage. Tipper Gore, what a bitch. Freedom of speech.
Yeah.
And yet, this is okay because
Here we
it's
are.
disinformation, and it turns out nobody on the left or the right actually really knows what they're talking about. So what information?
Yeah.
It's bullshit, man. All right, what else we got?
Oh, gross.
Larry Nassar was stabbed in prison.
Yeah, so I don't give a fuck. Good.
Well, is there an issue with these federal prisons?
Larry Nassar was stabbed 10 times because he's in the federal pen watching Wimbledon, the women's Wimbledon, talk about how he likes hot, young female ass. And some violent guy didn't like that and gave it to him.
Yeah, stabbed him multiple times.
There's no videotape.
No, that's crazy.
How could there be no video?
Cameras in a federal... that sounds really familiar.
Maybe it's a federal policy, no cameras.
No, there's cameras in the common area and none in the cell. But so who went in the cell and stabbed him?
Well, then that would be the question for somebody else as well.
What
happened to your other guy?
Epstein?
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, whatever happened to that guy?
We've never talked about Epstein,
have
but
not, no.
same shit. Right? He's supposed to be on suicide watch.
Yep.
He's supposed to have a roommate so he can't commit suicide, and the cameras don't work. And he's dead. And his aide de camp, Giselle Maxwell, is that her name?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't give a shit.
Ghislaine, yeah.
Ghislaine, I don't give a shit. But she goes to prison for trafficking people.
But she's the only one.
Yeah, but who bought the trafficked people? That's a crime.
What happened to all the rest of them? Yep.
There is a black book. Now, I know everybody in the black book is not guilty of doing this, right? But some of the victims have come out and named prominent people, and I'm not seeing any charges. Now, I'm glad. I'm going to say it. Fuck it. I don't want Nasser to have the death penalty. I want him to do his whole life in a gray box. And sure, you get punctured every 5-6 years. Good.
Oh, well.
Good for you.
I don't care.
Punctured.
Good for you, baby raper.
Let him worry about it every single day.
Yeah, there's some criminals that you just do not have compassion for. And pedophiles and those people that conduct sexual assault. No.
Bye.
None.
Bye.
Yeah,
You
none.
pin cushion. Fuck you. Okay, what else we got? So it's bullshit. The bullshit here is anybody going to get charged for Epstein Island?
Probably not.
Please.
It's too much
It's a lot of the glitterati, the literati, the monerati, the politerati.
Even though those people all know about it, too.
Oh yeah. They the power knows about this. Is John McCain's wife. John McCain, United States Senator, right? John McCain, John McCain, fighter pilot. John McCain,
POW.
the Republican nominee for the presidency. This is his wife at an event.
It hides in plain sight. Epstein was hiding in plain sight. We all knew about him. We all knew what he was doing. But we had no one that was, legal aspect that would go after him. They were afraid of him. For whatever reason, they were afraid of him. All of a sudden, someone said, BS, we're not afraid of you anymore, and what you're doing is not only wrong, it's illegal, it's, all those things. It's like a house of cards now.
Okay.
It's going to start tumbling. Believe
Where
me.
is it?
When is it
Where
going to
is it?
start tumbling?
It's
Yeah.
illegal what he did, but there had to be a customer, and that's illegal. That's what's bullshit. And I'm going to go here, okay, speaking of human trafficking, what the hell's the commissioner's name?
Oh, Brian Ferguson.
Detroit Police Commissioner Brian Ferguson. I'm reading from our friend George Hunter, Crime Dog,
Great
Detroit
writer.
News, great writer. The only guy really covering the police around here. He wrote, Police Commissioner Brian Ferguson told the Wayne County Sheriff undercover officer that he was a member of the Detroit Police Board and asked, can you help me out? After being caught having sex with a prostitute on the city's northwest side. The incident happened about 7 a.m. on Wednesday when an undercover narcotics and morality squad spotted Ferguson sitting in his truck in the Happy Homes neighborhood near Schoolcraft on Detroit's west side. The officer turned around and approached the truck, and the woman jumped out, wiping off her face. Ferguson said, hey, listen, I'm a Detroit Police Commissioner. Can you help me out?
Nope.
But did you see what he said, too, that the lady jumped in the car and she was saying that somebody was trying to kill her, and he said, I don't care, get out of my car.
We have that clip. That's
Oh, do
Ross
you?
Jones from WXYZ made a little call.
I started screaming at her, get the F out of my truck. I was cussing. Get the F out of my truck. Get out right now. She hollered out, please help me, he's going to kill me. I said, I don't even care. Get out of my truck.
Well,
while I was saying that, I'm trying to push her out of my truck. Well, when I went to go step back out of my truck, a SUV come pulling up with white lights.
Okay, so he tried to push her out, and she casually brushed against his crotch, first of all.
Yeah, right.
All right, number 2. Let's see here. She says she's running, and she jumped in the back of a truck because a man's trying to kill her. And the former chairman of the police commission says, I don't give a fuck if somebody's trying to kill you.
That's what I'm thinking.
What?
Get out. Now, the third thing is, I'm driving around in that blue purple poop 700 Cadillac, and I'm hearing banging, and it's Vinny in the truck. I want you to sit next to me, bro. Oh, get the what bullshit. Get out of here.
What is it with officials and hookers around here?
Right?
Okay.
I wonder if they ever do catch a break like he asked for.
Butch Hollowell, I'm remembering you. What's up?
Oh, Butch.
I just,
What's up, Melvin?
people have very short memories around here, and I just
remember that one? Melvin was over there at 6 and Woodward, where our friends walk the street, prostitutes and transgender prostitutes, and he was picked up for giving oral sex to a prostitute. He was drummed, and he was no longer co-chair of the Michigan Democratic Party. Was that his time?
I believe so.
Yeah, okay.
But still,
how you doing, Melvin?
You landed quite well. I mean, that's the thing. It's like
he landed quite hollow well.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. My thing is this, though. If you're going to penalize people for their behavior, be consistent.
Did you say penal?
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I didn't say penis lies. I said penalize.
Well, it can be penis lies.
Now, speaking of kicking the balls, last but not least, the Republicans got together for a secret closed-door meeting because Cuckoo Christine Karama, a friend of yours, was being accused by a bookkeeper for the Republican Party of misspending money. Now, I didn't know they even have any money. Everybody stopped contributing to the GOP party, right?
They said, yeah.
They don't have an office. So in Michigan, the party of Lincoln is conducting official business in the backseat of a Lincoln. That's how bad it's gotten. It's so ridiculous. But this is the national media. This is how they look at it.
Chapman kicked him in the groin and slammed him into a chair as soon as he opened the door to the meeting room. What is going on there? That is nuts.
That is nuts.
That's the most underreported story because everybody's so obsessed how Donald Trump's at 45% or he's at 48%.
It's bizarre to me. Earlier, Peggy Noonan's comparison was to Napoleon's cult of personality, and Hitler had been doing a lot of Stalin reading lately, and it just seems so much similar to the cult of Stalin when it comes to the cult of Trump, and just up is down and right is wrong.
What did she say?
Who are these idiots? I mean, do you notice how clueless they are? Look, here's the deal. The Republican Party here's a mess, right? It's been taken over by people that have been disaffected by all the shit in Washington, right? We're kooks. But you don't Stalin. What? Like all of a sudden we're on trains to the gulag?
I don't know. That was weird.
Let me like you dopes. Like I'm sick. Get out of Michigan. We'll report what's going on here because in Michigan, Bernie beat Hillary and he was supposed to get mudslided. There's a reason for that, right? Trump beat Hillary. He was supposed to get mudslided. Biden beat Trump. Jesse Jackson won the Democratic primary in 1988. And George Wallace, the segregationist governor of Alabama, won Detroit and Michigan in 1972. You don't get us.
That's crazy.
It's too much to know. Stay the fuck out and read your Stalin book. You're not reading no Stalin book. You're reading a comic book. And then what do we get? What do we get here? Look at these Whitmer blowjob stories. Like, get out of here. Vanity Fair, The Atlantic, Politico. Bypassing Biden. Democrats think of what we could have been. Gretchen Whitmer. Read it. Read it. There's nothing in here about what she didn't do. The fact she's a woman and, she won. But you only won by 10. You beat Tudor Dixon, who had no money, was polling at 1%. Until everybody else got kicked off the ballot for the bad signatures. Again, how crazy are we? You know what I mean?
But I saw James Dixon said that's her one accomplishment, her win against Tudor Dixon. Everything else has been.
Yeah, but look who the opponent was.
I understand,
right?
but I'm saying that's the one. He was saying that's the one claim for an accomplishment. Everything else has been a fail.
Okay, the nursing home is just sitting there. The fact you couldn't get a budget done until Biden sent all the fake money. The fact you couldn't fix a road until Biden sent the infrastructure money. You didn't do anything, right? The airplane. I could go on and we will because it's coming. Because let me explain to you, Morning Joe, and all you dopes from the East Coast. This is garbage. Here's what's going to happen. If other people decide to get into the race, all of you who've become part of the political wing, and it's also the same on the right, you're each going to pick a candidate. Some of you are going to like Kamala Harris. Some of you are going to like Newsom. Some of you are going to like Whitmer. Some of you are going to like Biden. And now you're going to have to turn on each other and do this. And you're going to finally have to do the work. But I see you walk in here. I see this Barbie. It immediately goes to Trump. And it has nothing to do with us or what we're about or what we're going through or that we're taking COVID money and giving it to the Chinese.
You're right.
Or the fact that Ford with the Mach, we're going electric and all their electric vehicles are going unsold.
Yep, they are. Tons of them.
And didn't we tell you that? They're too expensive. Yep. Our grid is too bulky.
Power went out the other day.
Power went out the other day. You should have did what Toyota's doing and say, we're going to guess that people want a stepping stone. How about a hybrid?
Right.
So I ain't getting caught out.
That's true.
But you gambled everything and you came to us, the taxpayer, and you expected us to backstop it, subsidize it, and wow.
But this isn't a criticism because somebody said the other day, yeah, you and Charlie are big Whitmer and Duggan critics. I said, no, we're not. I said, that's not being critical. Somebody has to present the facts. I mean, and that's what's happening. So it's not personal. Stop feeling as though that it is. I mean, because now you're diverting away from, the actual value of the content that's being presented before you.
I was a critic of Bing.
Yeah,
I was a critic of Kilpatrick.
I didn't think it was being a critic, though. That's the thing. You're in public office. You're supposed
wait a
to
minute,
be assessed.
though. I mean, no, man, because that's a partisan bullshit. That's what it is. Like, I was the critic of Snyder. Mm-hmm. Nobody else did Flint like that. That's true. Okay, I was a critic of Trump. I was a critic of Giuliani.
But that sounds like they're sensitive, Like
I was a critic of Obama. I was a critic of Bush. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's weak to me.
Oh, it's lame. You're the problem. You bought into it. You see like people kicking each other in the balls. I mean, that's telling you something's bad, right? We got asshole running around killing kids. It's bad. I was a critic of Shooty. Mm-hmm. Oh, come on. Really? Oh, okay. Anyway. That's all. Good night. See you next week. Hey, Vinny, love you. Get that car down here. That pile of poop. Ching! Purple poop.
That's 800.
Oh, and let's take a deep, deep look at what's going on in Detroit next week. Let's really look at this tax plan and the demolition and the bond rating. I promise it'll be fun.